Hi. Okay, so this is Sophie of Sex with Sophie here today with the very first iteration of my brand new, what I'm hoping to be nightly live stream series that I am titling Today in the Fourth Reich. Hi, Chris. How are you? I think I see Tribe. Hey, Tribe. Hi, Gunslinger. Yeah, come on in. I'm trying something different. This is going to be what I think I'm going to be doing for quite some time because I'm glad you're okay. I genuinely can say that I'm officially not okay. I think the writing is on the wall and I'm very, very scared. I don't even live in America and I'm scared. And so, somebody was censored. That's okay. If you want to try to say what you wanted to say again, you're welcome to speak your mind in this space. This is a safe space. I'm starting this new show. Normally I do a show called Call a Liberal, but I think we're past that. I think this moment in time is calling for something new and something different. I think we all need to sort of honestly just open our eyes to the writing on the wall. I think we are all effectively in a constitutional crisis. I'm calling it. I think a lot of comics and pundits and even politicians are very much feeling like, oh, this is fine. He's still doing things within the bounds of the Constitution. He's still, doing EOs, but the lawsuits are coming. That's how we're going to keep him in check. And honestly, the second that man didn't turn those planes around or turn that plane around, that was it. That's it for me. I had to call it. So I think that this is it, guys. I think we're officially in the crisis. I think America is falling. I do not see a way back from this. And so I'm here to offer, again, a nightly space for people to come in and chat and talk about things. And hopefully we can come together and offer some sanctuary and ways forward. I've retooled my entire website. So I'm Sophie of sexwithsophie.com. I've changed all of that over to now be standwithsophie.com. So I really and genuinely hope that you will visit, sign up so we can have a safe, private community where we can talk about what we can do about this. Because this is absolutely the time. This is the moment. I'm calling it. We're in a constitutional crisis. The Constitution has fallen. America is gone. The stock market's gone. Our money is gone. The economy is gone. So what are we going to do about it? That's what I'm hoping to discuss with you all every night until either we can see some light at the end of the tunnel or figure out a way forward together. So I've come up with a few things that I'll talk about. I see I have a guest request. I'll let you on, user. And Camo said, I still speak English. Yeah, that's what the colonizers taught us. So what else would we speak? Honestly, Gabe, it's the time to panic, sir. I'm sorry, but this is it. So basically what I'm trying to offer is information on ways we can move forward, how we can stay prepared. I've developed a Sophie's survival guide. And I genuinely hope you guys will go to standwithsophie.com, sign up. I'm on Patreon as well under my Sex with Sophie name. We need to come together, you guys. We got to form some coalitions and community because there's going to come a time when it might be you, it might be you. This time it was Mahmoud Khalil. This time it was Yun Seo Chung. This time it was, what's his name? Garcia. So we have got to come together. We got to protect each other. We got to figure this all out because I'm calling it. We're in the constitutional crisis. This is it. So today in the Fourth Reich, I'm really excited to see that so many people have been protesting. There's been a lot of fight, a lot of, I'd say, renewed energy towards trying to combat this shit. So very happy to see that there have been protests and everything. I do want to talk about that a little bit, but user, I see that you're up. Do you did you have any thoughts or initial comments that you'd like to make, or would you want to introduce yourself really briefly?
Well, yeah. Just a quick comment. I would like to say, if the fourth, Reich, as you call it, exists or is currently existing, I really hope that they make gym memberships mandatory for you, because you need one.
Right? I know. The problem is, when I get a gym membership, I don't actually use it. So I don't know if that would do much. But I mean, that's a good point, though. Honestly, user, like, that's a thing that we all need to focus on. Getting our health together, making sure we can run if we need to run.
I mean,
I hear you loud and clear. I really do. What do you do to work out, or how do you stay in shape?
You kind of stole my shine a little bit. I was doing some trolling, and there was no freak out. You're just so happy.
The freak out is the fact that our country is falling, quite frankly. Like, Chase, he is right. That's one of the things that I'm glad to be in a time where there are things like Ozempic and stuff like that. I have a condition called PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
This is no fun anymore, mommy.
Well, look, you can drop if you want. I mean, we're here just, I'm trying to offer a space for people to come together in this moment, because I think there's a lot of fear. Honestly, I'm experiencing a lot of fear just in seeing them. And I'll see you, user. Thanks for coming on, sweetheart. But I'm seeing a lot of people, again, just being snatched off the street. My friend Dave Norton has a friend of his who's from Egypt who got just disappeared. His name's Khalil. And so I'm, to see it like touching people I know, it's kind of scary. It's scary. Hi, Mary. She says she has PCOS too and endometriosis. Oh, honey, I'm sorry. That is just a painful, painful condition from what I hear. I thank goodness, I had fibroids at one point, and I had, uterine polyps, excuse me, but I've had surgery to have those removed. They probably are back now, but they don't cause me the same level of issues as endometriosis might. Let's see. I'm sorry if I'm missing some stuff. Hey, your mom. Thank you so much for the gift. I appreciate that. Yeah, no problem, Chris. Full Metal Jacket says illegals. I'm not too sure what that is. Oh, are you saying those are the people who are being snatched up? See, that's the issue with me, is like, we don't know that they're illegal. Hey, James, I'll get you in 1 second. We don't know that they're illegals. Like all the people who got sent to El Salvador, we don't know. They didn't have any kind of due process. And then furthermore, some of the people like Rumesa Ozturk, she had a student visa. Mahmil Khalil was here on a green card and married to a citizen. So how are they illegals? I think it's absolutely scary that people are being snatched up off the street. And so one of the things that I created is, again, Sophie's survival guide. Please go to standwithsophie.com. You can find me on Patreon as well. Please sign up. You can sign up for free. I don't give a shit. Please join me, though. We have got to build our community up. I've got some tools that I've created that I'm hoping to help people to just get through this. So I got some tips on how to hack your phone to make sure that if somebody does come and get you, like that video you saw with Rumesa, and those 6 people came and cornered her, literally I have my phone set up, so I just have to say, it's go time or whatever. And I have a whole rollout that happens on my phone where it contacts my emergency contacts with my location. It starts recording. It sends that recording out. So if you want that same shortcut or information on how to do something like that on your phone, again, go to standwithsophie.com. Now is the time. James, come on up. I'm going to let you up now. The thing is, though, I'm not a debater. I'm very happy to chat with you. But I'm probably we're not going to be able to talk about our logical fallacies. I don't have that sort of philosophical training. What do you have contention with?
First of all, You're funny because do you understand? You say they're not entitled to due process. Do you understand that they don't just go pull people off the street because they look brown or they look like this? That's not how it works. Okay, I have daughters that are Hispanic. Okay, do you understand how this process works?
What are you saying that I'm not saying?
You're saying that these people that they deported aren't getting due process. They
Well,
are.
that too, but also I've seen a
What do
young
you
woman
mean?
get
What?
literally disappeared off the street. Have you
She
seen
didn't get
Mesa
disappeared.
Osberg?
She didn't. Do you understand? Again, what due process aren't they getting?
I'm sorry, but did you not see what I've seen? Like,
You're
you not seeing the Rumesa Osberg?
you're not able to debate because you don't understand the process.
Well, first of all, I'm not. This is not a debate show. I'm not a debater. I'm not good at that. That's
Well,
not what
no,
I do.
because you're aiding and abetting illegal immigrants with your website. Because
You're damn right I am. So if you're an illegal immigrant, standwithsophie.com.
that's all right. I'm recording this because I'm sending it to the FBI because you.
Oh my God, please do. I would love to. I honestly wish that we could have something that could get into the sphere of the military people, of the ICE agents, of the people who are actually enacting this, because they're the baddies, yo. They're making us all the baddies.
Let me tell you something. Where do you live at?
Well, I really don't feel comfortable telling you that.
Well, okay, that's fine. Unless you live on a border town or have lived on a border town, you're not affected by this. You don't know what comes across the border, i.e., Lake and Riley. If those guys were deported and had stayed deported, she would still be alive. Okay.
Well, you know what?
They don't they don't just.
Hold on one second. Are you talking about the girl who was
the nurse,
20-something-year-old nursing student?
Yes,
they got killed. She was in a non-border state.
She was in Georgia, which is
a non-border state, and she went for a run.
Yes.
And she was unalived and raped by a illegal immigrant. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
No, that's not Lake and Riley, sweetheart. That's Molly Tibbetts.
No, it's Lake. Do you know who Molly Tibbetts? That's where you're false.
Do you know who Molly Tibbetts? Do you know who Molly Tibbetts is?
Yes, I know who you're talking about, and that's not the nurse that got.
Well, then
unalived.
Molly Tibbetts was a nursing student who lived in a non-border state, who went for a run, who was in her 20s, who was unalived and raped by an illegal immigrant. Do you want to know when? Do you want to know what year this happened?
What year?
2016.
Okay.
When who was president?
Trump.
So? Right. And when who controlled the House and the Senate?
Okay.
The Republicans. And so if we are in such an uproar about this, why did we not hear anything about it then? Why did Trump not fix it then? If this was a problem when the exact same thing happened under his watch.
He was fixing it.
How? He did not fix it. If he
did.
How was Lake and Riley ever able to be unalive? All I'm saying is, like, y'all pull that out.
All you're saying is you're ignorant because there is due process. They don't just go pull people off the street. They do.
Literally, James, I've watched videos of them doing just that. So what am I seeing that you're not seeing?
If you would shut your ignorant mouth for 2 seconds and let me explain.
I'm not ignorant. I don't appreciate you speaking.
You are ignorant because you're saying just because you saw a video that's what happens. You don't know what happens up to that point.
Sweetie,
that's what I'm saying.
We're seeing the gentleman who was in El Salvador who did not get due process, who was a father. One who was a gay makeup artist.
Do you know him? Do you know his record? Do you know him?
I do know his record because they actually his wife was
his wife said
falsely.
His wife said.
I do not mean to speak over you. I promise you. I don't have like headphones on, so when I hear you, I'm going to be quiet. What were you saying?
His wife said, therefore, that's perfectly legal in court. Oh, my wife said I was innocent in killing this person, Your Honor.
No, darling. The wife is who identified him, so we were then able to get his records and understand that. Yes, he was accused of being in MS-13, but he was not in MS-13. He was.
How do you know?
He was
How do you know?
because it's literally in his record. But
You
we don't.
don't
Here's
have
the
his
issue,
records.
though,
You
James.
don't
We
have the
don't have
records that ICE
everybody
has.
else's
You don't
records.
have the records that ICE has. I'm telling you right now, you don't have the records
But you
that
know what?
DOJ
You don't either. And so all the public
exactly.
information that
But
we
I'm telling
actually
you, I
have
know people.
indicates
Wait,
that he is
I
not
know
an
the
MS-13
process.
member.
I know the process of people being deported, and they don't just go pull people off the
But
street.
that's what they literally did, sweetheart.
No, they did not, sweetheart. You just saw them get
James,
taken off the
you know what?
street.
Okay,
You don't see the
let's
investigation.
pretend that they somehow had due process, even though there was no trial, there was no anything.
They don't need a trial. They're here illegally. They don't need a trial.
Oh my gosh.
They're not protected under the
They
Constitution.
do need a trial. They
No,
literally
they
come
don't.
here and get court dates. What is that about
No,
if they don't get a trial?
They're not entitled to the Constitution. Okay, let
They
me ask you a
absolutely
question.
are entitled. Have you read the Constitution?
Show me in the Constitution where it says that they're entitled to a trial if
It
they're
says
not
to
American.
anybody here. It doesn't say that they have to be.
Show me in the Constitution where it says that. Show me in the Constitution where it says
Literally,
that.
pull it up. Again, I'm not here to debate you about this. What I'm saying is that I've seen with
Because
my
you
own
can't.
eyes.
Because
that
you
people are
speak.
getting
You
pulled off.
speak.
Let me, James. What is the point of you? What are you doing? Like, what is the point? Like, are you trying to convince
My point
me?
is,
Are
I
you
know
trying to
the
convince me
I know the
that
due process.
this is not happening. That what I'm seeing is not actually happening.
They're getting deported. That's all that's happening. They're not being denied due process just because you don't see it. You're not sitting in the investigating officer's office when they're doing the investigation. Just because you're not seeing the surveillance,
But
you're
what?
saying, "Oh, because I see this person get taken off the street, poor him. He could have molested a little girl for all you know, but
But
you
he
don't know."
didn't. We go through due process to find these things out. We know that he's not had any sort of due process. It makes no sense to me.
Who
But again,
cares?
where are
It's
you
illegal.
trying to? What are you trying to? Are you trying to convince me of this? Are you trying
No.
to
I'm trying to
make
convince
me
your
feel
viewers
better
how
about
full of
this, or
shit you are.
what is your point? Honestly, like, what is your point?
Because I mean, do you even have a full-time job? Probably not, because you got a kid. You're probably this ignorant woman that sits at
People with
home.
children don't have full-time jobs.
You're probably this ignorant
Baby,
woman
look,
that sits at home.
I honestly, this is a space for people who want to have a productive and
Well, no, 'cause
safe space. I
I'm
don't
calling
feel like
the
you're
FBI on you.
offering many people much
I'm calling
safety.
heights on you.
If you want to drop,
So-
you're welcome to. But there's
Bye.
literally no point in what you're saying. Like honestly, like have a if you would like you wanted to debate, but you're not even giving me an argument or a thing that you're trying to prove. You're literally just saying that, oh, they are getting due process when we're all seeing that they have not. And even if they did get due process for some reason or aren't entitled to it, Mahmil Khalil, who is a green card holder, is. Okay? Yun Seo Chung is. Rumesa Ozturk is. So the fact that it might not have happened to these one people over here, it's happening to others as well. So Jesus Christ. Like, look, thank you so much, Leonizing, because we're like, the whole point of this, honest to God, is if you're comfortable, like James seems like he's perfectly content. He's happy with the way things are going. Great. Enjoy it. Live your life. Enjoy the way that things are going for you. But if you're like me and you're worried and you're a little scared and maybe you just want to be a little more prepared, please, please, please come on. Hey, Jodi. I mean, honestly, Jodi says he's too emotional to have a rational conversation. The thing about it is, I just think we're beyond conversation at this point. I think we're beyond debate. I don't think there's any debate that Donald Trump has placed us into a situation where he's trying to enact the unitary executive. He's basically obfuscating and manipulating and malleating all these different laws to try to skirt the fact that what he's doing is illegal and unconstitutional. We are officially in a constitutional crisis. We are in desperate times. And so that's why I'm here to say, look, go to standwithsophie.com. Sign up for, even if it's just the free thing, we need to come together. I have private, safe spaces where we can chat, where we can plan, where we can organize, where we can try to figure out what we're going to do next. And one of the things I really wanted to talk about on here, we need to be there for each other, and them heads do need to roll. I agree, Leonizing. So like ultimately, like let's get started with that. Like what I'm trying to offer is guides, training, community connection, so that we can get through this. Because honestly, this is day one of my show today in the Fourth Reich, but who knows how long we're going to be in this space. Again, I'm Sophie of sexwithsophie.com. I came into this work to try to teach people about, like trans rights and what that means and why, abortion is not that big a deal. Like people think it is, and it's not, and why you're made to be so mad about these things, why you're made to feel like you can control what a woman does. I'm here to try to educate people. And then honestly, like, I feel like I've been thrust into this space where I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky. I do not reside in America. I live in the UK. And so I'm much safer than you might be if you do live in the United States. So I want to offer space, use my voice, because I dare your ass to come and try to disappear me. I fucking dare you to come try to get me. I dare your ass. So like, honestly, like if I can say shit that people who are in America might not be able to say, I'm going to say it. And so that's why I've developed, again, just my private community. Go to standwithsophie.com. I will give you my Sophie survival guide. It includes some tips, reading list, shopping list, like a cart you can just press a button on and go ahead and get all the stuff you need to be prepared. I'm talking, go ahead and have your hand crank radio. Go ahead and have, a first aid kit. We need to, absolutely, Jodi, we need action, not conversation. There is no debate. Like, thanks, James, for coming on to try to I don't know what point you're trying to make, but again, we're so far beyond that, friends. We're so far beyond that, friends. If you want to come on as a guest and just chit chat about what you're doing, let me know. As a matter of fact, I wanted to put a little poll up because I'm curious about who all went to. I never know how to do these things. I wanted to try to put a poll up. I'm such a baby TikToker, y'all. I'm horrible at this. All right, so I want to put a poll up because I'm curious to know who. Oh God, how do you do this? It only lets you do it for like 60 seconds. What is this? Okay, well, never mind me. I will figure out the whole poll situation at some point, I'm sure. Okay, I think this is it. Okay, let me just stop that one. But I was curious to see if anybody went to their local hands-off protest. I have some thoughts about protest. Okay, so it just makes you kind of do whatever you're gonna do. Okay, so I'm putting a poll up if you want to do it, to see if you participated in your local protest, or if not, but did you want to, or is protesting something that you genuinely don't feel you would want to do? I'm just curious. So take the poll if you see it, if you want to weigh in on if you protested or not. Personally, I'm very ambivalent, and honestly a little bit pissed because we had the BLM situation. Jodi said, really don't feel like I need to protest. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, baby. Cause honestly, as a Black woman, I feel like we did our part. Jodi, exactly. She said my vote was my protest. Thank you. 92% of us, I think it was 93% of us, we did our part already. We knew what was going to happen. We knew the writing on the wall. Okay. But then honestly, this whole hands-off thing, like, I'm glad to see it. I have no intention of participating. I absolutely advise anybody who is my complexion or my race to stay at home, stay your ass at home, okay? But it's nice to see. But then what happens is I'm watching Rachel Maddow today. I feel like we gave them all the information they needed. Thank you. Because we know. We knew. We see the writing on the wall. We always do. So yeah, we voted in a way that I wished everybody else would have. But racism and misogyny and misogynoir are just that pervasive in America, unfortunately. But yeah, so seeing all these people, oh girl, come on up. Hey Jodi. I think it's still loading you up. Hey Jodi.
How are you doing?
I am great. How are you?
I'm great. And my words are my words.
Your words are my words. Okay.
Exactly. I'm not, it's their turn.
It's their turn.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God. But
I'm
Jodi.
sorry. They didn't believe in protest. So, you know.
But no, but then there were tens and hundreds of thousands of people out on Saturday voting of the, the palm colored folks.
Right. And I have a theory as to why now.
Oh, what's up? What's your theory?
My theory is when it touched them, they thought it was just touching us. So when they realized that we all are the same in his eyesight, because we're below a certain I guess financial status, we're all the same. If you're not the wealthy billionaires, you're nothing. You're nobody.
Exactly.
And so why they could not see that when he absolutely has not changed. In fact, he has exponentially gotten worse.
Absolutely. Well, I have a bit of a theory, if you will. I think that Trump is only in office because they thought that he hated the same people that he did. And what they are now learning is that, yes, he's racist. Mm-hmm. Yes, he's a misogynist. Mm-hmm. Yes, he's a criminal. Yes, he's a felon. Yes, he's all of those things.
Times 10.
Exactly. But he's also, first and foremost, a grifter.
A well-paid grifter who has been grifting his entire life.
Exactly. So it's like they thought that his whiteness was going to override his richness or his desire for money or self-serving things or whatever. So I think that they absolutely thought, oh, he's going to get in here and make life miserable for Black people and for
just
women.
Us.
And yeah, exactly. And he's going to make life miserable
for all the Black and brown people.
Exactly. So the second, now, like you said, Jodi, the second is making it difficult for them, that is touching them. Now they want to get out and protest. Now it's a problem. Now they're at the town halls,
town halls, and they're crying, I mean, in which I don't, have any joy in anybody.
Oh no, I'm eating it up.
Right.
I'm enjoying every fucking second, Jodi.
Absolutely. But the thing is, our people are having to go through it with them. And the fact that they're, went through with a chainsaw and, cut all these jobs. But my thing is, especially with this tariff situation.
Yes.
You're fighting for America first, jobs, manufacturing. But on the back door, you're cutting out the unions and the collective bargaining all at the same time.
Because again,
that makes sense.
It'll make sense when you understand that priority number one is always going to be the grift. Okay? The grift. So when you understand, yeah, I mean, of course it's narcissism, but the thing about the whole economy with the tariffs and the stock market and everything, the only reason that they're not trying to do anything is because the first rule of the stock market is buy low, sell high.
Exactly.
And so the
Exactly.
lower it goes,
The more
the more
they're
the
going,
motherfuckers
they're
can buy,
swooping in and buy
right?
up all these stocks,
Yeah. Yeah.
buying all
It's
our
very
property, buying up the property.
exactly.
All of this,
Exactly.
it's not rocket science.
Exactly. So the thing about it for me is I genuinely I'm not one to give financial advice by any means, but honest to God, if for the people who got it like that, if you can get it,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
would
and
say I
I, and
would
I
say
agree. Go ahead and buy.
start buying that shit up. Start buying that shit up.
If you have the money to do that,
Yes.
this is the
Now's the
perfect
time.
time.
Get in. I would
But
say
then
not
I did
now.
see
I would wait till we get a little more into this dip. I don't think our dip is done dipping.
right,
So and also too, I would say I feel really bad for people who are trying to retire right now. Like this was their
right,
financial or whatever.
absolutely,
But if that's
absolutely.
not you, I genuinely, honest to God, would be like, you know what, just sit tight. Wait till you see that we're really at a dip. Again, I don't think we're there, but whenever we
Right.
hit that real dip,
hmm
throw more in. Get in
But
there.
the thing is, it's a kind of catchy situation even in
Yeah,
that, because you don't know what the
don't
real
know.
situation is going to be, because
That's
you
true.
might need to try to hold on to every penny you have,
That's
because
true.
you might need to hightail it out of this country,
True.
It's
But what I do know is now is not the time to sell. Now is not the
it's
time.
not, absolutely not.
I think that's the panic. I
hmm
saw a funny little clip where a guy was like selling hats or something for $15, and another person was selling them for $10. And so he sold all his $15 hats to the guy who was selling them for $10 and made like $60 because he had 6 hats. And then the guy took his sign down and started selling them for $25.
Oh
He
wow.
controlled the whole. I think the wireless woman. If you guys check her out, she's amazing. I think she's who posted that clip. But I was like, that's exactly what's happening right now. They're just
Right.
throwing the price down so they can eat up all the
Right.
shake.
And these
And
supporters, I mean, like I said, they bend themselves into pretzels and turn themselves
thank you.
inside out trying to defend every single thing, or either they're defending it or trying to say,
Names.
oh no, he didn't mean it that way. He meant this. He
Exactly.
meant exactly what he said.
Exactly. Oh my
Why are
God.
you trying to twist it into something else to what you want to believe that he said?
Exactly.
He said what he said.
It's so ridiculous. But the thing
Why
about
you
it
have to?
too,
Why does he need an interpreter? Or
yo,
supporters to interpret what he says.
and then what's so funny, right, is they try to sane splain him. Is that what they say?
Right.
They try to say,
Right. It
but
makes no
he
sense.
will say, no, I actually like
He says exactly what he means.
exactly. Like they were revisiting the whole Megyn Kelly feud that he had, where he said,
Right.
"Oh, she had blood coming out of her eyes. She had blood coming out of her." And so even in that, this might actually be kind of like wholesome of him, which I didn't think I'd ever say. But everybody kept trying to say like, "Oh, he's trying to talk about how she's on her period. He's trying to talk about how she's on her period and she's emotional and this and that." And he literally was like, "No, I was just trying to say like, she had blood coming out of her ears, and I was gonna say maybe she had it coming out of her eyes." So even when it's like, even when he's, trying to just he's ineffectively trying to own somebody, they will give it to him. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, he told her," and he's like, "No, that's not even what I was trying to fucking
That's not
say."
what I said. They're so
It's
quick to jump to his defense.
too
That's the thing.
hard,
They're
or
so
to
quick
like make
to
him
jump.
seem smarter or more
Right.
gracious or more capable. Like they literally will,
Right.
however they can move the needle to make him be that strong man that he wishes he was. They
The
do it. I don't
the
understand.
goalpost
I don't understand.
is always on the move. The
It really
goalpost
is.
is always on the move.
And again, I think sadly, because they think this is somebody who hates the way that they hate.
Right.
So it's just that's why I'm enjoying the Schadenfreude of
Mhm.
all that's happening now, because it's like, you voted for him because you thought that he was going to get rid of people who you didn't like. And like you said, now they're being touched by it. And
Right.
obviously with the
That
protests
was
that
the
are
main
happening.
thing. He made it okay for them to be openly racist again.
Exactly.
Okay for them to bring that white sheep back out of the closet. He made it okay for all of that. And so now, he's he's their mouthpiece, he's their hero. But now all of a sudden,
they realized he was really out for who?
For himself, and he's gonna take down by any means necessary. By any means necessary.
Exactly. So, let me ask you then, Jodi. Considering all that, considering that we got these protests that happen, I was listening to Rachel Maddow today, and she was kind of covering all of the different, numerous events that occurred for the hands-off protests and whatever. And of course, it was just a sea of Mayo sapiens, just a sea of white people, and and I was like, wow, okay, look at y'all, whatever the reasons, whatever the impetus, whatever the catalyst, it's nice that you're actually doing something,
Right, they're getting out there, they're working,
right,
they're in the streets, and I'm sitting on the sideline and just cheering them on from afar.
Yeah, from home.
Yeah.
But then,
I'm not getting out there. They're trying. He's trying everything possible to get us activated, but we gotta hold the line.
This is what I'm getting to.
Hold the line,
Jodi. So I'm listening to Rachel Maddow cover all this, right? And then not once, not twice, but 3 times she said something to the effect of, "See, this is what you do. This is what you do. This is how to do it. You have to have a peaceful protest. You can't have looting. You can't have, people acting up and violence. These are peaceful protests. These are peaceful, and we have to keep doing it. We need to have repetition, but we also have to keep it peaceful." And I was like, this bitch.
I'm like, good for them.
No, Jodi, no. Let me tell you why that pissed me off.
I understand what she's trying. She's kind of backhanded throwing slams at us. I know that.
I don't think it was intentional. I'll give her that. I'm going to give her grace there, but you're right. That is what it was. That is what it was. She didn't realize, I don't think, that that's what it was, but that's what the fuck it was. And the thing that really pissed me off, though, is that they had the website. They knew where these folks were going to be, but they also knew who these folks were going to be. And you did not see not near a single SWAT team,
right?
Shield.
Nobody was arrested.
Militarized police force.
Right, exactly.
None of that shit. And so, the fact that then you want to use, look at how peaceful this was. Of course it was. Look at the force that they encountered. Look at the fact that there was none.
Right, exactly.
So I genuinely,
there was no pushback.
Of ambivalence, man.
There was no pushback.
None. And then it's just like you said too, that then notice that literally today, in the Fourth Reich, Trump said something to the effect of, what is the latest bullshit he did that was racist? I can't think of what it was. Something. Oh my god! Literally just today, he announced some rollback of something or some bullshit. I can't think of it. But he deliberately is trying to antagonize Black people.
Absolutely. They're trying everything possible to get us activated. Everything. And this last thing with this young man in this case, that's they really trying to use that to get us activated.
Are you talking about the Texas?
In Texas, and where I'm like, hold the line. And
that poor boy's father was like, please don't use my son.
Right.
And I really appreciate and respect him. But I stay on True Social and Gab and all that. I just like to know
what they're saying.
And they're all like, "Oh, he's such a cuck. Oh, he shouldn't." And it's like, damn. They're literally trying. It's just like you said. They're literally trying to make this into some kind of race war.
Like it's race baiting. Like we recognize all this now. We're so, I think we're so conditioned. We're so used to it. We can see the red flags. We can see the signs. We know. I mean, we have our defenses mechanisms are so strong
They
because
are.
we've been through so much with this. You know,
Exactly.
it's gonna.
Exactly.
I'm like, okay, it's gonna take way much more than that. You know, we're gonna pray for this young man, pray for the outcome. You know, the outcome that it should be.
Right.
But we're not getting out there protesting.
No, no,
We're
no.
not doing that. We're not doing that. We do whatever we can from behind the scenes.
Yep.
You know, if we need money, GoFundMe, money raise, whatever. That's something different.
Yep.
But hey,
I mean, honestly,
listen,
like that's one of my tips though. Like again, I hate to keep I just gotta stay on it though. Standwithsophie.com.
right.
Go there.
I'm gonna check it out.
Please do.
Because
I'm
it's
also on
just
Patreon,
crazy.
whatever you're comfortable with. But yeah, like that's the kind of stuff I want to get into. Like no, don't donate. Don't do
No,
anything. Don't
no,
protest.
no,
Because the thing
no. We're
is,
not doing that.
even with them picking up the reins, even with them kind of taking on the mantle, like honestly, like
It doesn't
what's
take but a
gonna
second
happen?
for them to
What's
revert
it gonna
back.
do?
It
What's
takes
it gonna
not,
do?
but look how easily they revert back.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It's but it's
It only
also
takes a
but
second.
it's
It only
pointless
takes a
though.
second to revert back.
That's the truth, and
Mhm.
so I just feel like we have to really focus on the healing the bullet wound instead of just trying to put a band-aid over it.
Exactly. Our
Understand
community, building our communities,
building our community, and it doesn't just
yeah,
have to be us, but it just has to be
right,
people who are knowledgeable, who
like-minded people,
understand. Exactly. So
and
I
and Blagger,
uh-huh. They can just go on because
Blagger needs to be out there protesting with them. I'll just put it that way.
they do.
I have no place for them. I have no energy for them. I don't have the brain cells for them.
No. I
Yeah.
But also again, like we see in France and South Korea and
Mhm.
Poland, all these places where the populace comes out and
Mhm.
even the UK where I am, they are quick to protest some shit. They are quick to protest.
Right.
Quick. And for some reason that actually effectuates change,
Right.
I
Right.
don't know if it's because their governments actually care, or if, like Rachel Maddow said, like they're just overly persistent. They're there every night. I
I
don't
think
know,
it's
but
because they genuinely care. I think they're
yeah.
not as closed-minded
Hmm.
as as Americans are, who think they're so far advanced above everybody,
Mm-mm.
and they think this country is, the end all be all, that everybody just wants to flock over here. You know, the melting pot is gone.
Oh yeah.
They
It's
they, they
there
destroyed
never
all of
was
that.
one. There never was
Never
one.
was one. There never was one. And
Mm-mm.
going back to Blagger, or people who support that,
Yeah,
and
our
us,
people who support that.
people of our persuasion,
Hmm.
actually supporting the deportation is
Hmm.
mind-boggling to me. I'm
Oh
sitting
my
there
God,
saying, don't
people
you
who are
realize
Hispanic, people who are
exactly?
immigrants.
Don't you realize that at this point in time, they have just replaced us with them. They're gonna
Exactly.
spin the block right back around. I mean, they still chipping in at us, but now the focal point is them, and
Hmm.
everything that they've said about them, they said about us.
Exactly.
And for
But
you to
what?
say you agree
Mhm.
with that is mind numbing to me.
It is, but it's also the fact that I don't know if they just don't understand the history, or that, like
Right,
you said, that they propagandized
right.
black people as being monsters and rapists
Same thing they're
and
saying about them right now. The
yeah,
same thing.
and murderers, and all
Exactly.
the things from
They
insane
just they
asylums,
just
and we're crazy, and
copied and
all
paste
the things.
them. They copied and paste uh um
Exactly.
Mexicans or immigrants or undocumented, or they call them illegal, which is undocumented. They just
Crazy.
pasted them over black.
Exactly.
They're
Exactly.
saying the exact same things, but for
Exactly.
someone of our color to agree with that and actually promote that,
Yeah,
it's
it makes no
disgusting.
sense.
It's
But
disgusting.
it's also, again, I think when you look at the ultimate end game of everything, because people are like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what he's going to do. I think we've seen this before. I
Oh
definitely
yeah.
feel
Oh
like
yeah.
he's
Oh yeah.
trying to. I think the whole point of the mass deportation was to then essentially make it easier for the black and white thing to
Right.
be to come to the forefront when you don't have
Again, exactly.
other people to
I think it's
continue
a big
love
distraction
it. I think it
because
is. I think it is. And when he was at the Black Journalists event, when he was on the campaign trail, you know, when the time he told
right,
Kwame
right.
he wasn't really black or whatever, people latched on to that.
Mm-hmm.
But they seemed to miss when he said, well, no, they didn't, because the whole black jobs thing was attributed
Came
to him.
about right
You
from
know?
there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But that's the moment
And
I
then the
was like,
Kamala's
oh,
not really black. That type of thing. Oh,
no, no, no.
that
But when he
burns me
tried to
up.
say that the reason he was doing so much with immigration is because he wanted to help black people. He wanted
Right.
to free up black jobs. I
Exactly.
was like, what? I was like,
I say the
oh,
only, and I told someone, a
they
coworker, a black
laughed.
surgeon, I say the black job that I know of is president and vice president.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
yeah,
At
give me
least
those
at one
black
point it
jobs.
was.
Yeah,
At one point
that's
it
the
was.
black job that I know about.
Exactly. But that was the moment I was like, okay, so he's trying to get all the Hispanic people out so basically he can re-enslave our asses.
Exactly, and
Is
they
what
don't
I
see
think.
it. They're sitting there
They
saying,
don't
"Oh,
see
this
it.
man is for us," and I've gone into some panel, some blogger sites and listen just to listen to see the type of rhetoric they talk amongst each other, and they
Yeah,
all have the same talking points.
they
That he's not
do.
racist. He's done more than Obama. He's done
And
this, and
it's just not true.
he paid $1 million for jail. It's just like they read off a script.
And they all have the same one. But hey,
The
Laugh, how are
exact same
you?
thing.
Let's let Laugh introduce himself. And do you have any thoughts bubbling up? I really love your video situation.
Hello,
Hi, Laugh.
good morning.
Hi.
Morning, I'm streaming from Nigeria.
Hi. Oh my gosh. What do you think about what's happening in America?
I don't really know. I only know about Nigeria.
You know what? I like that. I like that a lot. Have you ever been to America?
No, 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 no.
Do you feel
I've,
more or less inclined to visit, considering what's
to
happening in
visit
our
America. Yes,
you still
just to come
come?
and feel the snow, the
Oh,
cold in America.
some places, about maybe a third of the country is way up north. That's pretty cool. So why,
Mm,
like, if people wanted to leave America, what would be the best way for them to come to Nigeria?
there are many processes for one to leave the country, and it's not that easy.
No?
It's not
Really?
easy.
What's is it like a visa that you have to get, or you have to marry somebody or work?
Yes, visa, and you must have money for you to sustain you must have money that will sustain you in America before going there, before they will approve your visa.
No, no, no. What if people from America wanted to move to Nigeria? What would that look like?
Ah, it's very easy. It's very easy from your side, from
Really?
your hand.
Oh,
Yes, it's very
I would
easy.
love that. I would love that. I got lucky and I got
It's very.
I escaped America a few years ago. I live in the
Have
UK.
you been to Nigeria before? Have you been
No,
to
my
Nigeria?
brother has. I've seen pictures, but I haven't been. I haven't been to Africa at all. Is Nigeria the best
Nigeria
place
is a beautiful
to visit
place.
first?
Nigeria is a beautiful place.
I've seen so much of it. I love to lay eyes on it in person. I would love to go to
Really,
Africa. Period.
really love to visit Nigeria someday.
I will. I definitely will. I want to bring my children.
Wow. Let them come and learn Nigerian language,
What
like
language you
Hausa,
speak?
Igbo, and Yoruba.
You speak Igbo and Yoruba?
Yes.
Yoruba?
Yes, Hausa, Igbo, and Yoruba. That's one of the major
Hausa, Ibu,
languages.
and Yoruba.
Yes, Hausa, Igbo, and Yoruba.
Ibu.
Yes.
That's awesome. Well, what was on your mind? Why did you want to come on today? Just to say hello?
Yes, I enjoyed the way you rapport with your friend.
Thank you. I hope Jodi and
and
I
I
will.
and I
Yeah, we're
and I, and,
besties.
and I like you guys, and I like you guys' accent as well.
Really, thank you. I like your
I
accent.
love I love I love American accent.
Aw, I like your accent too.
Yes.
Yes.
You said?
I
Yes,
have that southern drawl.
yes, it does.
Yeah.
It's like if he was a French guy who lived in the South in America, that would have
Right.
kind of twang, I guess.
Right.
It's pretty cool. So you speak Hausa, Igbo,
And
Yoruba,
Yoruba.
English.
Yes, English.
You are amazing. So you're like a polyglot. Like that's amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
That's like really
In
impressive.
America, in America, you guys only speak only English, right?
Basically, yeah. And then
We speak English and Ebonics.
Okay. Lebanese.
no. It's Ebonics is what is it officially called? It's like American African American vernacular English or something.
Right.
AAVE.
It's for the culture.
Yeah. You know what's so funny is I genuinely like I've never been the best code switcher, you know?
You said?
Like I've talked like this my whole life.
Yeah. She talks like Becky.
Okay.
What I do.
Jodi, are you also from America?
I am.
Jodi, where are you from?
Wow.
I'm in the South.
Mm-hmm.
I have that.
South
you
America.
hear that
Okay.
southern swang?
Yeah. I'm from North Carolina.
Jodi, have you been to Nigeria before?
I have not.
Have you been to Africa at all, Jodi?
Wow.
I have not been out of the country, believe it or not.
Are you kidding me?
I have not.
Now
I know
when-
now is the
when
time.
a better time than
I
now.
might get. I don't know. I might get. I'll be able to come back.
Hey, come on.
I might
Right?
not want to.
Right?
I might not want to.
Right? Oh my gosh. Well, laugh. We're gonna have to. You gotta go to standwithsophie.com and sign up so you can help people.
You said?
So you can take all of our American refugees. Okay. You gotta help us. You gotta help us figure out the process. Maybe
Right.
you can marry one.
You
of
said?
us.
So
You said?
we can deport ourselves.
I know. Self-deport.
Yeah.
I am with it. Hey, Paul.
We are done with this place.
I know. What is it? Earth is ghetto.
Your son,
Right.
right? Your son?
Right.
Your child?
Thanks, Polly. Oh my
Your
god.
son, right?
Say that one more time.
Your son?
Oh, this is my daughter.
Is he your son?
Girl.
Okay, your daughter. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
She's beautiful.
Oh,
You see your accent. In Nigeria, we call it daughter, or you say it's your daughter. In Nigeria, we call it daughter, or you say it's your daughter.
And Ebonics is her little shorty.
You said? Jodi, you said what?
This is my seed right here.
Her seed. Yeah. It's her little. It's her
My
little
daughter.
shorty.
Messi?
My daughter.
What's her
Now
name?
she does it. Yeah, Polly. Earth.
What?
is ghetto.
What's her name?
I wanna leave. I swear.
What's
This
her
is-
name?
Oh, her
Her
name
name
is
is-
Day. Like
Her name is her?
D-A-Y.
Okay, Jay, that's beautiful.
Thank you. My 5-year-old's name is Cloud.
Really?
So we had a kind of a theme.
I like that.
Thank you.
That is
Okay.
really unique.
Thank you. Do you have kids left for Jodi?
I have a
No, I'm not married.
32-year-old.
32?
Yes.
Wow.
Jodi,
I would have never guessed.
Jodi, are you married?
I'm not.
Wow. What are you still
Laugh, you're
waiting
single,
for?
right?
You
You
said?
don't have any kids.
No. I'm
Wait,
yet to
Polly,
marry.
like, I'm still
You can't
shocked.
believe I have a 32-year-old.
No, not at all. Not at all. You sound amazing. You know what? I love that about us. You know.
You can't tell. I'm telling you,
Jodi,
we could be 100 years old and you just never know it.
No. What's up,
Good black
Laugh?
don't crack.
Sophie,
Hey, Polly.
Sophie,
Yes, Laugh.
Sophie, how old are you?
I am 42.
42.
Yeah.
And you look like Nigerian 20 years old.
She does
Yes.
look young. I was thinking more like
That's-
30, 35.
Hey,
I'm
Polly.
looking at
That's
I'm looking at both of you,
that's how
and I'm
20
like,
years old person look like in Nigeria.
well, you all have all my don't cracks, because
Yes.
trust me, I looked in the mirror today and I went, I thought they said black don't crack.
Oh my
My
God.
face is a mess.
I'm not too
Jodi.
far from 60.
I'm 65.
Who is 65? Murray,
I am. I'm 65.
How amazing.
you're 65. Let me see your picture. Let me see your
You have
face.
lost your mind. Did I not just tell
Let me
you
see your
that my black cracked?
let,
Didn't I just tell you
let me
that?
see your face.
No.
You're hilarious.
Murray.
Hey, Becky. No, that's so funny.
Ah, what's an
Oh, no.
wow, she looked good.
Thank you. I really
Oh,
appreciate
she's
that.
adorable.
She took after your beauty.
Oh my God, you are so kind. She has nothing of it. This is her dad. She could open her dad's phone lock screen. That's how much she looks like.
Oh, wow.
He's so sweet.
Where is her father?
He's sleeping. He's got to work.
Sophie, where did you keep her father?
He's sleeping. It's
Nosy
2
little
in
thing.
the morning. It's 2 o'clock in the morning here.
Oh my God. It is?
Oh,
Where are you? Are you
I live in the UK.
Oh, you're in the UK the other way. Okay.
Yeah. What time is it in
You said?
Nigeria?
It's
It's 5 minutes past 2 a.m. 2 a.m. now.
So we're on the exact
Oh,
same
yeah.
time zone. We're on Greenwich
Like
Mean
serious?
Time.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
That's
That's
pretty
right.
cool.
Like serious?
Yeah.
What is it by the
9
time
o'clock here.
in America?
No, I'm on
What is it
Fine.
by the time
West
over there?
Coast, so it's
I'm
only
on,
6
I'm on
o'clock
East Coast
here.
time.
Oh wow. So Paula, you're in California?
Well, I'm on that coast.
Oh, you know what? Let me not blow up your spot.
Oh,
Right,
girl.
right.
Oh my God.
I'm in the Pacific Northwest.
Polly, say what? Sorry.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh no, I wanted you to give yourself like a little introduction. I had the pleasure of hearing you read. I didn't know that was your thing. You know, tell us more.
I read books. I mean, that's it. What else did you want me to say?
What kind of books and what's your thing?
You read or do you write or just read?
Why?
No, I read books on lives is what I
Okay.
do. That's what she's talking about. And I read nonfiction books. And I read primarily like 99.7% Black books.
Okay.
But every now and then I throw something else in there. And we just finished a book today. Yeah, it was today we finished it. About the first heart transplant in Virginia.
I'm getting a phone
And-
call.
Oh, okay, bye. And they stole the
I'll
man's
be on
heart.
for a bit.
No, you're fine. Anyway, they stole the man's heart. So yeah, I didn't know you heard me read.
Yes, I came in and I was like tappity tapping and gifting and liking and all the things.
Oh,
'Cause
that's so
I
nice.
just thought that was so phenomenal. Were you who read Uncultured?
Uh-huh.
That was you?
Uh-huh.
So I've been with you since like way back, way back.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Because I did
That was
Uncultured.
a few months ago now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh! You know, is she the author of Uncultured?
Mm-hmm.
Is on here, and she's so I found her after you introduced me to her. So
Yeah.
thank you for that.
Oh, yeah. No, I actually asked her permission before I read the book.
You said, yeah, no, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
because some people are like, "Oh my God, you're stealing her work."
Oh
I'm
no,
like,
no.
please,
I
I'm
would
not.
again. You opened up her audience to so many people, including myself. So thank you for that. But
Yeah, no, that
speaking
was
of
great.
which, speaking of uncultured, before you came on, we were here talking about the protests that happened.
Mm-hmm.
My take, if you will, is that there's a lot of like dog whistling happening about how safe they were, how non-violent they were. There was no looting. You know, nobody was they weren't violent. They were so peaceful. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and how that's putting me in such a state of like ambivalence because on one hand I'm glad that they are doing something. You know, I'm glad that they're doing something, but on the other hand, the fact that they're now trying to conflate their absolute, lack of um, encounters with any sort of agents or ICE or SWAT or opposition or the militarized police or any of that. They're trying to conflate that lack of opposition with peace.
Um.
I'm a little pissed.
Oh,
Bring the
well,
phone.
okay. I am a
Hey,
lot
see,
pissed, to be honest with you.
you're what now?
I am a lot pissed. Actually, I'm just mad. So
Okay.
because the reality of the situation is if we had been there, it would have been anything except peaceful,
Oh, absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
And there was a down in Los Angeles, there's a gentleman who makes political clothing. And one of the things he does is he goes to all the protests.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a protest, he's there. He sets up his table. He's been doing this stuff for years. But he also provides protection,
Mm.
right? And a bunch of other things. He is like definitely down for the cause, whatever the cause is. Well, at the protest, and Cuban Delight actually posted this, so I'll have to tag you in it. But at the protest, they asked him to move his table
At the
because,
hands off protest?
yeah, yeah, the we have a permit, so can you not be in our area? Yes,
No.
they did.
No.
Yes, they did. And I was like, and that is why my little happy butt was home. Well,
See.
actually, I was at a bookstore, but still.
No, but no, we need to stay home. This is not our fight. You know, this is
Mm-mm,
not for us. But
not at
at the
all.
same time, it's just the fact that they still fail to see the difference and why there's a difference. You know, it's so sad to me. So
Hmm.
again, I'm pissed, but I'm also very ambivalent, just because again, it's
Yeah,
like I hate that the only reason they're doing something is because they're finally feeling the social security and the Medicaid and the jobs and all. They're finally feeling it for
hmm,
themselves. Stock market,
hmm.
um, so it's kind of like, okay, like the reason you're doing it is pretty shitty. It's very
I,
selfish. It's very
I don't,
hypocritical.
I think
But
the reason they're doing it is because we won't.
ooh, ooh,
Because do you remember
hmm.
the movement? I can't think of how long ago it was. It wasn't. It must have been maybe 4 months ago, 4 or 5 months ago. Anyway, it was all these YT women making videos saying they wanted a black wife because
What?
black women can solve anything. they can fix
Wow.
everything and solve any problem.
And they genuinely thought that was a compliment.
They did.
Yo.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm even more glad that that was them out there, you know.
Hmm.
But even so, it's not. It's sad because it's not like they're actually like okay. It's not like they're actually going to effectuate any kind of real change. Like I think the sad
Hmm.
thing about all of the very many protests that Black people have spearheaded,
Hmm.
the thing that actually helped us to achieve the aim of the protest wasn't actually achieved by the protest, you know,
Exactly. Hmm.
or it wasn't achieved at all. You
Right.
know, like there's still just as much police violence. There's still just as much
Hmm.
inequity. You know, um, so what are they thinking is going to happen? You know, now that
Well,
they're doing it, I don't understand what
well,
they think this is what's going to make Trump listen to them. They think
well,
this is what's
yeah.
going to make them actually, you know,
Well,
take Doge out or what? I don't get it.
but my thing with this hands-off movement or whatever it was that they were doing out there is what are they going to do on the 19th? Because the 19th is the next march
Right.
that's supposed to happen. So, see, they have a choice. They can choose not to march or they can choose to march. We don't have a choice. It's just that we're sitting, we're like, we're not going to do it. Right. And
Mm-hmm.
so, um, I I saw a woman who said that when she went to the march, wherever her town was, she looked around and she saw all white tea people.
Yeah.
And she was frustrated because she said, and she said it. She said, I thought to myself, we're out here marching for them. Where are they? Talking about people of color.
What?
And then
Wow.
someone had sent her a Toni Morrison video or something, and she said, I get it now,
What about
you
Jodi?
know, but still, it's the fact that they think they are doing something for us. They still don't see that they should be doing this for themselves, because when they do it for themselves and achieve success, then
Yeah.
we will be successful as well. But see, they don't get that.
They
They,
don't, but
yeah,
thanks for
they don't
offering
get it.
those different insights because I didn't realize that those things had occurred with the
Jody,
gentleman who
welcome back.
got hit
Hi.
hard or with the lady who was so clearly tone deaf.
Hmm.
Hey Jodi. Hi Dielle. Am I saying your name correctly?
There's Jody. Hey, Jody.
Hi. I had a phone call. Sorry.
Hi Dielle.
Jody, what's up?
Hi.
Do you prefer
Cletus,
Dale or
what's up?
Cliff?
Cletus, what's up now?
We got a new
Sophie,
guest.
this is my Nigerian brother.
Oh hi Day. Is your name Day? Like, 'cause this is her name. Her name is Day.
She's
His name
adorable.
is Daid.
Thank you, Paul.
Oh, Dail.
Dayu.
Dail.
Daid, what's
Okay.
up?
I don't think his audio
What's
is
up
on
now?
just yet. That's okay.
Sophie,
Hi. Yes.
Sophie,
Yes, sir.
I want to speak our kind of Nigerian English with Daid.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want him to hear how I said
I've
daughter?
been hearing you guys rapping. Yeah, I've been hearing you guys rapping. My Nigerian brother has come up.
You know what? I actually am a rapper.
Are you a rapper?
I used to be. I used to be a rapper
Oh my.
back in the day.
Wow,
My stage name is
that's
Maddow.
good. The stage name is
I am so sorry about my kid, y'all. What did you say?
Hi, don't be
wow.
sorry. I mean, she needs to be with you, and she's adorable. So
No, thank
nothing
you.
wrong with that.
We're in the village.
Thank you.
This is
No,
the village.
she'll, because again, it's like 2:15 a.m. here, but my husband works, and so he's like, she's not sleeping. Can you get her? And so here we are.
It's okay.
But yeah,
Just
Dial, can you hear us now?
You're bonding. That's beautiful.
She's raspberrying it up. Dang. All right.
I love this background. Today in
We
the
want
Fourth
her
Reich.
life.
Yeah, we want her
She's
life,
living
right?
her life. You're right. You're absolutely right. Okay. I don't know if you can see her. She's doing her thing.
Oh my God, she's cute.
So, what book did you just complete?
You are crazy. Say
Oh,
what
I
now?
finished.
I was asking, what book did she just finish?
It was a book called The Organ Thieves. Organ as in body organs. It was about a man named Bruce Tucker, and it was about the first heart transplant that happened in the state of Virginia, and how they stole the man's heart. They stole the black man's heart and put it inside a white tea man.
Wow. And you
Yeah, he
said
wasn't.
this is nonfiction?
Oh yeah, I only read nonfiction. He
Who wrote the book?
he wasn't even dead yet.
Who is the author?
Wow.
The author.
Here,
I want to go.
hold on, let me get it. Hold on. There it is. I had turned the lights out.
Murray.
Sorry. It is
Murray.
by Chip
No, Dial.
Jones.
Murray.
It's The Organ Thieves by Chip Jones. It's a true story. I'm going to read another one
Okay,
about.
Chip John.
Yeah. I
Chip
don't know if
John.
you all.
Okay.
I don't know if you all know the story about the 4 little black girls.
Type it on the type it on the comment section. Let me pick it. Type
Okay.
it on the comment section. Let me get it well.
Okay. I don't know if you all know the story about the 4 little black girls that were born to a deaf mother and a sharecropper father. They were stolen
The
by
quadruplets.
They were stolen by the doctor.
I did hear about
and
that.
Put in the circus and raised on pet evaporated milk or some crap like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the next book I'm reading.
Okay.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
It
You
is.
know,
Dai, on your mic.
yeah,
You
Diane,
turn
we
off your
can
mic.
hear
That's why
you.
we're not hearing you.
You're muted, but even when you weren't muted, we couldn't hear you. But Paulie, did you see Erica Badu at it's an award show. I don't know what it was for.
I don't watch TV.
Say that one more time.
I don't watch television.
I didn't see it, but I saw clips of her, and you need to go back and watch this. She had on this exaggerated bodysuit. And it made her like butt and breasts like really like exaggeratedly large.
Oh, like
and it
what's
was
her name?
basically an homage to Sarah Bartman.
To Sarah Bartman,
Yes, who was the woman, the slave.
Right, I know who that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I mean, like I saw her, and I just first of all, I was immediately like blown
Sophie.
away. What's up, Laugh?
Tell all of them to follow me. I follow everybody. Tell them to follow me back.
Follow
Okay.
Laugh, everybody.
We will.
No problem.
I'll have to follow it then. I mean, I'll have to find it. I'll find it. Yeah.
No,
Murray, you
thanks so
better
much.
wake up. Follow me back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I followed you back. I think we were already
Jodi,
friends.
hope you are there.
But we were already friends. Yeah, we're already friends. But no, but I think what's so crazy about that is everybody who saw it initially was like, oh, this is her commentary on BBLs and Megan Thee Stallion and this and that. And I was like, how do people not know this history?
Right.
You know? How do people not instantly put that together?
Because the reason that they don't put it together, there are 2 reasons. One, this is the first generation of children who have been educated with the No Child Left Behind curriculum. That's the first thing. The second thing is that these children. Wait, what happened?
What'd you say, Jodi?
I said, and that's not a good thing.
No, it's not. But also, we had COVID, and so those children were actually a few years behind in all of their learning. I don't know if you know this, but Harvard has actually just added remedial math and remedial English for the first time in the history of Harvard. Because you don't have those types of classes, but now they do have them, and that's a direct result of those two things because
Mm,
those children are so far behind.
that's wild. That's wild.
Hmm
I was
And that,
working in a school district like
hmm
right as all that kind of popped off, and yeah, it's insane. Like I actually was over I was a director of marketing, and so
oh,
I
okay,
tried to, or director of communications. I'm sorry. So I tried to like build like a web portal for all the children to be able to like access all of their curriculum essentially while they were out of school.
Salty B, you're welcome.
right,
Thank you. It's so like, but they literally like fought me about. They fought me about it.
yep,
Like, and it was nuts to me. Like, I'm like, yo, like I don't know if they thought, oh, we're gonna be back in school real soon. You know, we're in North Carolina. They fought tooth and nail against a lot of the lockdowns and stuff.
hmm
So I don't know why, but
Who
it
fought
but it
you,
was
the
such a
administration or?
yeah, like the actual like superintendent level, you know, of leadership.
Okay.
Was like because the thing that got me was that the assistant superintendent level of academics was who came to me about it and was
hmm
like, oh, what can we do to keep the learning going in this, and then the fact that the actual like school board and the
yeah,
superintendent and all the people kind of above that lady were like, no, we don't want to teach these kids.
right,
Our district basically dummied our kids down.
Yeah, like on
hmm
Stayed
purpose.
on that level on purpose. They let them do the bare minimum,
yep.
and they stuck right there.
And that's
It's
one of
so
the
sad.
problems with public education. When I when I was coming up, my parents were pretty adamant that I attend boarding schools, which is fine. But if we can't provide equal education across the board for all of our children, then
Right.
we're failing as a nation,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I think that the whole idea of funding a school through property taxes was one of the worst things that they
Oh, you
ever
know
came up
why?
with.
You know why
Oh
they do
yeah,
that.
oh yeah, yeah. We certainly know
We
why.
know why they do that.
That's to
Hmm
leave us behind.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
absolutely. But
hmm
but honestly, that brings us to today, and the fact that the Department of Education is under attack, and all these federal jobs, especially in that department in particular, are going away.
Oh, they're
Although,
gone.
sorry, we never
Listen.
And
got
that
to
teacher and those grants that he just froze for all those teachers that would have
Mm-hmm.
into the low income and the impoverished areas. That
Yeah.
special
hmm
grant that they had, I think it was like 50 some million that they
hmm
had set
Oh,
aside just
wow.
for teachers to come into the low income areas in the south in the
Was it
south
like
across.
Title IX stuff or
I think it's like I'm not sure if it's Title IX or Title One, but it was a
That's
special
Title
grant.
One.
Title One?
I think it's
Title
Title
IX is
One.
for women. I'm sorry. But,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was a grant especially for teachers to go into low income
Uh huh.
neighborhoods
Yep.
to employ teachers.
Oh my
And
God.
he did away with that grant.
Well,
Well, of course
he
they did.
also
Of course
he
they
also
did.
wants to do away with the public service relief of your student loans. You
Right.
know,
Oh, where
yeah.
you could work for 10 years
Uh huh.
and it would in a
Yes.
nonprofit or a government, yeah, and they would wipe your
Or
loan.
school.
I'm
Yeah.
actually on like year 8 of that before I left working in public
Well,
education.
he's
Yeah.
only given the schools now. Did another executive order. He's given the schools only 10 days
Uh huh.
to comply with this ridiculous DEI mandate,
Mhm.
Lord.
or they will not get their federal funds for next school year.
Did
Yeah,
you see the list of books that they
Right.
took out of the Naval Academy?
It's
no.
crazy. It's
I
crazy.
posted them on my page. It's 63 lines of books, and each page had some crazy amount of books. But I'm working on purchasing all those books.
Oh wow. Wow.
It's taking me a minute to find. Well, obviously, it's going to take a minute. Plus, it's going to cost a small fortune, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Because these, for example, one of the books was the study about the model minority. And that's taken away now. And do you know, in the school system, in the K through 12 system, remember that book about what is it, where the monsters are, or
Where the wild things are.
where the wild things are? That's on the list.
Yes.
That's banned. That's banned
What?
for children. Yep.
What?
Well,
Why?
I
Where the
mean,
wild things are. Yep.
Why?
nobody knows. I mean, we know what he means by DEI, but these school districts have no clue
Right.
what to
But where's the
actually,
A?
how to
Where's
comply.
the A? Because it's DEIA.
Exactly.
Right, arts, yeah.
Right.
So I don't know what
They've done away with the STEM program for girls. You know,
I
that's
heard.
Steam and Steam.
yeah.
There goes the A again, right?
Right. The
Uh-huh.
A.
Mm-hmm. Well,
And
well,
so
if I might throw another plug in, then if you're still watching, please go to standwithsophie.com. Because
mhm.
Okay.
speaking of reading lists, I have a end of the world survival guide that
Mhm.
includes a must read list. This is a living kit that I've built that includes some ways to help you hack your phone so you can have an automatic shortcut if you were to get detained or not be able to have your hands on your phone. It's got a shopping list of things that you might want to get that are essentials.
Mm-hmm.
I even have stuff on there like you might want to get a Geiger counter.
I have one.
like shit is going off, y'all. Like the whole point of this show today in the Fourth Reich, which I'm going to try to do nightly, and it depends on this one. But I'm here to say, like, I'm calling it. I'm issuing the clarion call. We are officially in a constitutional crisis. We have reached the point of no return. Kamala Harris were to take over and come back into office today, we're still fucked, y'all. So
Right.
ultimately, I'm trying to offer a safe space, a private community, and resources for us to come together. Because it's no longer like we had the gentleman James on earlier. Things are no longer up for debate.
No.
There's no need for conversation. We're officially we're in this thing, y'all.
It's above us now.
Well, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
when
We know, I think, in my opinion, his ultimate goal is martial law. So
Of course it is, and of course he wants the catalyst for that to be us.
right.
Yeah, Holly, we were saying earlier. Jodi had some really good points about, and probably had some really good points about just the way that they're trying to specifically needle our community. To be the ones that they not only issue martial law on, not only issue the Insurrection Act on, please look that up, but also that they essentially put us back into a place where they can expand on the 13th Amendment,
Mm-hmm.
well,
so we can all become, essentially legal slaves again.
I have to disagree a bit.
Go
Just
ahead.
a little bit. Just a little
I
bit.
love when you do that. Please go ahead, Paul.
Nobody knows if he wants to institute martial law except him.
Mm-hmm.
I do not, and this is what I'm going to say on it. There are 340 million people in this country. If he is going to depend on his armed forces to control 340 million people, he needs 3 soldiers to every 1 person. It's a 3-to-1 odd, right? And that's something that I learned when I was on active duty, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure that he wants to institute martial law nationwide. I think that if he does I think, and I don't know, but if he does something like that, it would be like in blue states, because he's looking for a way to pull back that funding from the blue states, right? But
Right.
by the same token, remember, he wants to do drone attacks in Mexico. And of course, the reason he wants to do that is because Muskie Boy wants to put a Tesla factory in Mexico, right? So I think that his concern is his stake in this Tesla factory, you know, in his hand in the money. So I'm
Yeah.
not sure that I will see martial law from him the way we think it is, but I think it'll be in certain places. Because remember, we've had martial law declared before in certain
Right.
places in this country. Remember Philadelphia, right?
Hmm.
Baby
You
girl.
know,
I
and
think
so that's what I think.
I think in that regard, I
I could be
think he
wrong.
wants to do that in order to just stay in office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he
Well,
wants to be a king. So,
Right.
I mean, that's why he wants to sign up with, what is it, with the UK? What is it to make us something, something, something with the king over the head, be a part of the
Right.
UK or something?
oh, I
Whatever.
didn't know that.
Oh, he's such an idiot.
You know, honestly, that's one of the things that I'm so grateful for.
He is
Like
so not
if
smart
he
at
were
all.
even a slightly smarter man,
Yeah. Yeah, he's
we
so
would
not
be
smart.
so done. We would be so
Yeah.
done.
If
But
he
like,
was as if he was as cunning as he actually thinks he is, but the thing about it, he talks too much.
yeah,
We know his every
But that,
move.
but that's why they wanted him, because it's not really all the stuff that he's doing is just smoke and mirrors to
Yeah.
yeah.
me. It's
Yeah.
all,
He's a
the
useful
Heritage
idiot.
Foundation.
Well,
Yeah,
see, Jody,
because
I think that's the crux of it.
Mhm.
Um, oh, thanks so much, Lav. I really appreciate you coming in and engaging. And what a sweetheart. It was nice of him to stop by and tell us all about Nigeria and how stupid we are because we don't speak but one language. But but no, I absolutely agree, and I feel like I have to not disagree with your disagreement, Polly, but I
it's
honestly
okay.
have to say I think that martial law, insurrection act, all that stuff. I think they're only on the table, not
Hmm.
because I agree with you that I don't think that he gives a shit either way, like what happens, but I think they're on the table for other means.
Right.
And the reason is because, for instance, you brought up Elon Musk, and you know, all this stuff with his dealerships getting
Hmm.
caught on fire and all this.
Hmm.
Genuinely, all of that was a grift. You know,
Uh-huh.
he's trying
Yeah.
to file insurance claims on that, but he cannot do that as a commercial entity with commercial insurance unless those acts were called terrorism. Which
Right.
Exactly.
who did that for him? You know,
Right.
Exactly.
and
He
so
he he
yeah,
put all his
so
people in place. He put all his people in
he
place.
did, yeah.
But the thing about it, he himself is not smart enough to do all that.
Mm-mm.
So he
No,
has all these people
but
working behind the scenes.
it's like you said, the useful idiot thing.
Hmm.
But
But
Right.
I think
see,
it's even bigger than that. I think that he, again, like we said at the start of the whole show,
hmm,
he's only in office because he hates, or people think that his primary objective is that he hates the same people that they hate.
right.
And that's why, you know, the Russians think they can use him. That's why
Oh no, they
AIPAC
are
and
using him.
Israel
He
think
is
they
an
can
agent.
use him.
He is
That's why
compromised.
other billionaires think they can use him.
Hmm.
But at the end of the day, hey honey. At the end of the day, though, he's always going to be out for number one. You know.
Well, yeah, but see, I think we hear a lot about Project 2025, right? But I think,
Exactly. The Christian nationalists think they can use him.
well, the thing about the Heritage Foundation is that the Heritage Foundation has always advised and written plans for the Republican
Republican.
administration, right?
Yeah.
Even what, 8, 10, 15, 20, oh God, I'm that old, huh? Anyway, all
No,
those
no, no.
years ago.
They got started in the late 1970s. Paul Weyrich
Hmm. Yeah.
was a
And so,
co-founder.
yes, and so they started that back then.
Yeah.
It's just that now they have a useful idiot,
Right.
two useful idiots. You
But
know, let's not forget about the VP,
Three, if you want to
right?
say JD Vance, because
Well,
he's
yeah.
more their figurehead than Trump even.
Right, he is.
Exactly.
He's the next. He was really because he came out of nowhere. You know, he's been
Well,
in
he's the
training
one
for
that they
what,
wanted.
15 years with this.
Right.
What was that guy's name? That his
Peter Thiel.
Thiel.
Peter
Peter
Thiel.
Peter
Thiel, his
Thiel.
mentor. So he's
Hmm.
basically. I think they're going to declare Trump senile pretty soon. To go ahead and try to
I
slide
think they're
him
going to
on in there.
unalive him. I've always said
But
that.
sorry, Polly, go ahead.
I said I think that someone is going to unalive him. I've always said
No,
that.
not until we get this third term sorted out. Because you heard what they say. They're going to
Well,
try
that's
to
true.
get. The thing is, Trump, for whatever reason, again, I think the reason is that people think he hates the same people that they do.
Well,
But
but he talks that way.
he's their guy. You know, he's the dude.
Right. He hates
So
poor people.
JD Vance is not going to win shit by himself. So
Right.
Of
if
course
if
not.
they
They
can,
knew
if
that.
they can
They
get
knew that.
them to, if they can get MAGA and all the folks to vote for JD Vance because they think that that's
Right.
actually going to put Trump back in office, that's what they're going to wait for.
Right.
But ultimately, you know, I don't think they'll try to unalive him until then. And ultimately, too, I think we're at a point where, again, we're in the constitutional crisis. He
Right.
is
Oh, yeah.
officially no longer listening to the judicial
At
branch
all.
at all.
At all. And he has.
Well, the
he has
judicial
the
branch
Supreme
is
Court.
not doing anything
Supreme
either.
Court is.
I mean, you saw what the Supreme. Oh, I'm sorry, Jody. Go ahead.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely. They're in his
they've
pocket.
given us a little bit and taking it right back. Give you a little
Oh,
bit
yeah.
and take it right back.
I mean, well, the thing about it is, you know, the thing about it is that is you know, so at any point, the line, like we're on the line,
Mhm.
but the second we actually cross that line, you know,
Mhm.
I think that's when it won't even matter. You know, he'll have a third
Right.
term because he says he wants a third term.
Right.
Whoever's in office, you know, will be in office because that's what he wants. That's what he says. We have to do.
Right.
What did they say? We have to follow the desires of the president.
Right.
So
At the pleasure of the president.
they'll happily let him do it. You know.
Right. And this Congress is so useless. You know,
Oh my gosh.
my thing. I can't understand the Republicans because you know they can't go against Trump because they feel like they need his backing for the for elections to remain in
Mhm.
office. But then they're risking alienating all the constituents who's
Well,
not
they
going to vote
have
for him
already, but
anyway.
they don't care. They
Yeah.
don't care.
But then the
They
thing
don't
is,
care.
but see, it's the constituents who has the vote. It's not Trump.
Oh, I'm
But
sorry.
It
again,
makes
You
no
don't think
sense.
those votes are rigged?
why do we think that
True. That's
any
true.
kind of vote
Starlink?
matters? Why do
Can
we
you
True.
think?
say
Oh, we keep
Starlink?
saying And I'm
Right.
sorry, I feel
You're
like I'm
right.
talking over somebody. What did you say?
Oh no, all I said was
Right,
those
because
votes
there's
are
no
rigged.
way.
Starlink. Right. Exactly.
That was common core math. There's no way.
Mhm. Yep.
But
Yeah.
I just feel like we're all like, oh well, when the midterms happen in 2 years, like no, I don't think
Right.
we're gonna be able to get that far. That's why, again, shameless plug. I've
Right.
started standwithsophie.com.
Right. And that's
So
why
we
I
can
think
kind of
the
start watching our own
deportation and
backs
all this
right
stuff is
now.
he's doing so much, like they said, flooding the zone, doing all these different things to keep everybody
Mhm.
distracted. You can't focus on one thing at any given time because he's doing so much damage that I don't know who could undo any of this stuff.
Well,
You
that's
know,
just the thing. We
it's too far
can't.
gone.
And so, even, yeah, it is. Our nation will never govern the way it governed in the past again. And we have
Right.
to get used to a new way. And I
Right.
say that to people, and people are like, oh, no, it'll go
Yeah.
back to normal. I said, no, it's
No,
not.
he's set the bar so low
Mm-mm.
that
Mm-hmm.
there's no place to go now but hell.
Right. Well,
I
also,
agree.
have you guys ever heard of Dan Carlin? He does a podcast called Hardcore History.
Oh, yes.
Oh my gosh, he has another podcast that he kind of does occasionally called Common Sense, and he just released his first episode in 3 years,
Oh,
called
okay.
Good for the Goose, and his argument, if you will, is that not only were we always destined for this, but
Right.
that whether Trump leaves or not, whether he actually does acquiesce to another vote happening or whatever, that we've done so much throughout the course of having presidents to give them unfettered power.
Uh-huh.
That that it's really, it's not like the current moment is really irrespective of Trump. It was going to be somebody. It was going to be
It's going to
somebody
be
who
something.
said,
You're right.
I can do this.
Right.
Okay, I'm
Right.
going to do
Right.
this.
Right.
Yeah.
But
I
they,
agree.
like you said, the Heritage Foundation has always been around, but they've never found someone so willing
Right.
to
Right.
go against everything. Even the
Everything.
Republicans who've been in office before, they've always maintained a certain decorum.
Right,
Hmm.
right.
Yeah.
They're not going to do but so much. So that's why the president had some esteem behind it.
Well,
Some, but
that's
now it's
all.
just a joke.
Oh,
Yep.
absolutely.
That's a
And
yep.
he thinks he's feared and revered around the nation. He's, around the world. He's actually a laughing stock around the world.
He
Absolutely.
sure is. I agree. I
I
agree.
think that honestly too, like we were talking about but we were talking about like the end game, right? And
Mm-hmm.
that's got me thinking a lot about the whole Canada Greenland thing.
Right.
Hmm.
And I was like, damn, what's crazy is it's literally just in the same vein of the whole we're gonna rename Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America. It's just an optics thing for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he's genuinely looking at the map and seeing
Right.
Hmm.
that
Right.
Canada and
He thinks
Greenland
it's a
together
big.
with the
Oh my
U.S. would
God.
make a whole nice chunk.
Yeah.
It's like he's
That
bored.
chunk.
It's like
Right.
he's
That's all.
bored.
I want the
You
chunk.
know. Yeah.
Right. And
That's it. He's
someone called the
bored.
penguins. See what they have to say. Since they get out these penguins that are being tariffed, and they
That
have
is
no
the
idea why.
stupidest thing in the world.
I
They
know.
have
I'm like,
no idea why.
Sorry,
look,
Polly. Go
leave the
ahead.
penguins alone.
Right. Exactly.
Oh my god. But I feel
I
like
mean, I cannot imagine.
right.
'Cause I sometimes wonder, does he sleep at night, or does he just
Oh, he
sit up
sleeps like
all
a
night?
baby.
Like a baby.
You see him
Hmm.
Sit
playing
up all,
golf and enjoying his life, even though he missed
yeah.
out on going to
But
those
He
I'm
gets
speaking
his
in terms of,
he gets
does
his
he just
quarter
sit up
pounder.
thinking of ridiculous things to say the next
No,
day?
he gets his
but
quarter
again, it's
pounder with cheese, and then he changes his diaper and he goes to bed.
Right. If he changes it, I mean, from the last report I've heard, he just stinking up the joint everywhere.
Yeah, I heard that too.
I mean, ask Kinziger,
Oh my
ask
god.
Adam Kinziger
Yeah,
about that.
yeah.
He said it's putrid.
But it's again, we don't need, I feel like we don't need this to realize that the emperor is not wearing any clothes, like
Right.
Oh God,
like
that's
even the guy that
gross.
came on earlier talking about, oh, you don't realize they are doing due process for these people. It's like they want so badly for us to
Hmm.
be as gullible as they are,
Right.
that they think that
Yeah,
that the same gaslighting that worked on their dumbasses is going to work on us for some reason. Like
they're not
when we've
educated
seen
enough.
it from the beginning, our vote showed that we saw it from the beginning.
Absolutely.
So so
See,
again,
but the thing is, we've always been smarter than them.
Right.
right, but the fact that the signal gate shit,
Oh my
Right.
God.
the tariffs and all this,
Right.
like
The
I feel like
DEI, the merit-based hiring,
Hmm.
what, Jodi? I'm sorry.
the merit-based hiring.
Oh,
Then
any of it.
when your
Any of it.
entire administration is your form of DEI,
Mm.
your explanation of DEI is your entire
The
administration.
hypocrisy is really real. So,
Yeah.
Right.
but it's like one of those things where again I feel like what Democrats, liberals, all the people who are out there marching on Saturday and all, I feel like what they all think is that if enough of the people who voted for him wake up, if the people who support him, if their fever breaks, they keep saying that. But I feel like they all know. I feel like
Yeah.
because everything that happened, we didn't need it to know. We didn't need Signalgate to know
Right.
that these people were incompetent.
Right.
We didn't need it to know that they were DEI hires. We didn't need it to know that they didn't give a shit about freedom of speech or national security or classified anything. we didn't need it to know that they were evil and that they
Right.
did
But
shit,
see,
that this whole apartment building fell down on one dude like he was the only one in there. Like the sheer lack of humanity is astounding, but we didn't need any of this to know that. And so it's like I don't know what they think the point of the protests were, because in the
well,
same vein, there's nothing that we could do
right.
to make them less evil, or to make them more competent, or to make them give a shit, or to make them not be out for themselves, you know? So that's why I'm just so adamant right now that we are officially in the Fourth Reich. It's officially over. There will be no more voting. There is no more America. There is no more Constitution. You know, we can talk and debate and what if, and the Democrats should, and it will not fucking matter. It's done. So that's why I'm just like, look, let's come together. Let's figure out what we need to do if we're getting detained. Let's figure out what we need to do when the internet is shut off. Let's figure out what we need to do when we don't have any power. You know, let's figure out what we need to do, what we need to have on hand. You know, because it's not about bunkers anymore. It's about our community and who we have that we can call on when we need some help. So I'm genuinely trying to just again issue the clarion calls, put up the bat signal. Like we got to start. We got to start coming together on this stuff.
Well,
You know, there are
when he
people
came out with
who.
this thing about
Okay.
segregation, I had no problem with that.
But again, like I like the wireless woman, how she gets into.
I like her.
Like, you really want us to be back in there with all these black men who didn't help us and pushed us out into the integration in the first place, and had our children walking into the schools by themselves, and like, I absolutely I agree. I don't think anything's going to work until we start to dismantle racism, self-hate, the patriarchy, but I just feel like in this moment, it's going to be really difficult to do when we lost our job because they're cutting federal jobs, or we don't have money coming in because they fucked with Social Security, or our kids, we got to watch them because we can't send them to school because, their IEP isn't being, looked out for or whatever. Like, I'm just saying, like, now, like, it's nice. We should have these philosophical conversations.
Right.
Should we segregate? Should we not? What would that look like? Okay, but
Right.
ultimately, I think if we're in a detention camp or a work camp, or whatever the case is, because they wanted to round up people who were clearly citizens, because they what is it? Oh, they came for the Jews, and I did not do anything. They came for the gypsies or whatever, and then that whole poem or whatever.
Yeah.
I just feel like that's where we are right now. So we saw them come for Venezuelan gang members who weren't really.
But see, we knew while the race was going on.
Mm-hmm.
We knew, but no one wanted to listen, right? And so I'm not a fan of segregation, because segregation is forced. I don't mind the concept of separation, but I'm watching Black people leave the United States.
Okay.
I'm actually watching them leave. I am watching them move to South America, the Philippines. I'm looking at them leave and give up on America. And that happened, of course, back after the migration. People gave up on the United States. Look at Du Bois. As well, you
sound a little melancholic when you say that. Do you feel like there's any reason not to?
No, I don't. But you have to remember, I'm 65. So, so all of those things that I fought for, right? Carrying all those banners and jumping up and down and having people sign petitions and, being a proud Marine, yeah, that's what it is. It's like, I'm now on the other end half of my life, and this is what I'm seeing.
Right.
And I'm like, we have made zero progress. I'm like, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
So,
right. And all that, and you think about it, whenever like these young the young black folks who
Mm-hmm.
disregard that struggle.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Well,
is
they're about
so
to go through it. So,
they're about to go through it. They
yeah.
have no clue. They're not made of anything.
Mm-mm.
So that's why they can't last. That's why they resort to violence so quickly, because they're not made of anything. They don't have that struggle. They don't have that hard exterior. They have it, but
Right.
it's a different form. You know, they're
Yeah.
not built for tough. You know, they're not built
No,
for
they're
this.
not.
They're not built for this
It
because
reminds me so much because I'm a very, very, I mean, stone cold, strong, the strongest of strong atheists. There's no
Hmm.
God. I'm sorry,
Me too.
but
Yeah.
when I came, sorry, Polly, what?
I said me too.
Nice, yes. But so you know that you know that intersectionality,
Hmm.
So seeing, especially when you come out of it, because we were, I know you were in it at some point because we're black, and so, but the coming out of, I guess you feel like you're almost like, okay, there is no Santa Claus. Nothing anybody could do could make me re-believe in Santa Claus. And then once I see that there's no Santa Claus, it becomes so obvious that the
Right.
person who was giving me the gifts was my parents, and that the bite out of the cookie was my mom. Like it becomes so obvious. And so then you want to tell everybody, like, oh my gosh, there's no God. There's all that thing you believe, that thing that gives you community, and that you go to church for, and that you paid money into, this thing
Oh
that
no.
you built your whole life on, that you taught your children, this
Oh no.
thing is bullshit.
My parents were atheists.
Oh my God, you're so lucky. You're so lucky.
I was
My
not raised in
grandfather
the
was a
church.
Presbyterian minister. I mean, I
Oh
grew up
no.
in it.
Uh-uh. No, no, no. No, 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 no. Uh-uh.
Lucky.
I've never even opened the Bible.
Oh my God. No, and see, there's the thing though. Like, I've done graduate level studies on the Bible, and honestly,
Uh-uh.
that's the thing that actually helped me get out of it so
See, I
much
don't read fiction.
quickly.
I think that's a fantasy book. I don't read fiction.
Oh my God, I love that. I love that. That should be your new tagline.
Oh
Whenever
yeah.
it comes.
I don't read no fiction here, no
But
Bibles.
so you don't have you don't have that, we don't have that shared trauma, I'll say,
No, we don't.
of having to see the world taking crazy pills and
Right.
wanting so badly to tell them to just open their eyes, wake up, stop.
Yeah.
Like, you're hurting yourself. You're giving away your money. You're telling your kids that they're evil. Like it's literally a bad thing to do. Like, if people say, "Oh, you should just let people believe what they want to," but it's so difficult when you see how it's actively killing us or actively
Mm-hmm.
harming people, especially children. So it's hard. But then it's like, I'm looking at our present moment, and what you said resonated so strongly with me in that regard. In that, yes, especially people who are my parents' age, or
Mm-hmm.
older, even myself. Like, when I was I think I've told this story before, but I was in college in Florida, at Florida A&M in Tallahassee, Florida, in the year 2000. So I was in the courthouse doing a sit-in, a sleep-in protest at the courthouse when the whole Jeb Bush situation arose,
Okay.
only to
Yeah.
wake up and see that George W. Bush Jr. was the president anyway, despite all of our efforts. So
Yeah.
I got my disenfranchisement early, but now to see again all the work and effort, like you said, the protests, the sit-ins, the calls to senators, the organizing, the time, the money, the energy, the effort, put into people trying to protest and trying to work for civil rights and trying to get the better person voted in, whatever the thing is. So I feel like we're almost in that
Tell it, girl.
moment of
Tell
seeing
it.
that was us believing that was us believing in Santa Claus this whole fucking
Yeah.
time.
Well, I think that yes, I agree 100%. I think that all of this that we're going through right now, right, is their hope is that when we come out the other end, that we will all be just mimicking each other. Basically, how do I say this? That will all just be YT people in various classes. That they want to do away with all of the differences. That's it. Remember when they did this to the indigenous population? Remember, and so they also tried to do it to us, right? It's just that, well, they couldn't because they kept oppressing us, right? But that's what they're trying to do. It's the erase the color line. You forget all the bad stuff. Oh no, this should be this way, right? And that's really what I think they're doing. They're trying to erase everything because it's
I
easier
never
to
looked at it like that.
control.
I think you're
Yeah,
right.
it's easier to control a population, like it's easier to control a socioeconomic group is what it is,
Right.
right? If they don't see the differences in each other, if they just see themselves all as one thing, a worker, pretty much. And then, of course, you've got whatever they decide will be the next class up. Yeah. That's what I see happening. That whole, and I'll tell you, the day they take Harriet Tubman from in front of the CIA building, I am going to lose my shit.
No, you know what? Let's just assume that's going to happen. Honestly, I'm shocked that we still have libraries.
Right.
Like
they took the
day
funding.
he made English the national language.
Yep.
I think that's the last time I was like, I'm not even gonna say anything because the second I'm like, oh, at least he doesn't,
Yeah.
So I'm just,
You're right. You're almost afraid to think how low it can actually go.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Traffic, you want to come up? He said, "Don't spread hate." I'd love to
We're
understand what you
absolutely
said that you
uniting.
felt
Oh,
was
please come
hateful,
on
baby.
up, Traffic. Where are you?
Yeah,
We're absolutely
you're more
united.
than welcome, baby. Well, follow us. So go to standwithsophie.com. I have a Sophie survival guide ready for people. Even if you just sign up for free. Again, just trying to build a safe space and community for us to get through the Fourth Reich. Because we're there. It's official. It's official. Thanks, Traffic. Ultimately, though, like I feel like he's actually quite right. Like. I used to be this person that would say, well, at least, the people who are anti DEI, at least they're still good people because at the heart of their argument, they still just want fairness.
I never said that.
miseducated.
Me either.
They're miseducated. They're ignorant. Whatever. But at the heart of it, they're trying to say that their argument is one of fairness. And so that's where maybe we can build this bridge to one another, And so that, you don't like the immigrants being here. Okay. You're concerned for your safety. You're concerned for your family. Maybe that's the bridge. Again, Polly, I don't fucking believe it for a goddamn second.
Right.
But
they don't need to fight for what
maybe
they
that's
already
the
have.
bridge
Right.
into their desires to be good people. But now it's like they don't even give a fuck.
I don't think
Traffic,
that they
like
ever.
Genuinely, sir, you don't care. You don't want to
But
be.
see, I
They
don't
never
think. Well,
needed to fight.
traffic is a troll. So
We did get
traffic.
we did get what you voted for. You're absolutely right. And so, like, I'm
Traffic
in a
is
place
just a troll.
where
But
crazy.
so ignore that one.
How
They think they actually.
can you care?
They think they won something.
You care about you.
The gag.
Well,
the gag is
see-
on them.
Yeah, and
Well-
it's fine. You're right. You do. You get what you vote for. Unfortunately, we got to get it too. But here we go.
To be honest with you, truthfully, I could step back and I could watch the world fall down around me. I have a farm with a water supply.
Which American people traffic?
I know how to grow food. I know how to hunt. All I need is a piece of wire, which I have. I know how to do all of that. Oh yeah, I can easily melt into the woods and survive.
Okay, you're gonna be my first guest on my new podcast, Stand with Sophie, the podcast,
Right.
I can do all
because
those things.
we need to share this information for the people who want to hear it. Traffic doesn't want to hear it, and that's okay.
Yeah, I don't
But the
care.
people who want to hear it absolutely need to come together. We need to, because again, I really want to also have another movie night. Last time we did Free State of Jones, that was awesome. That was an awesome experience. My husband is from the UK. That's why I'm here now. But
Yeah.
we had a very long distance relationship, and one of the things that we would do is watch a movie, and we make sure we press play at the same time and watch it together, from a distance. And so I was like, let's do that for YT History Month, and we did that with Free State of Jones. And it wasn't a big turnout, but the people that came, we actually were able to kind of have that, synchronized swatches moment, and it was so beautiful. Chris was there. I don't know if he's still on, but it was really, really nice. And so I want to do that again.
Wait, hold on. Has Flo requested
Flo?
to come up?
No.
Is
Flo,
she in the box?
up?
Come up, Flo.
I'm going to invite her. I just sent her an invite. I get no say in American politics. Why
Oh Lordy,
This is
hello.
really not the
Oh,
place for
hey,
you,
Flo.
baby.
Are you still reading?
You're
this
welcome
comment?
to stay, but I just don't
Yeah.
see what you're going to get out of this. This is
You can come up.
yeah,
can
you're
come
welcome
up.
to
Traffic
talk
flow.
if you want to, but we're
I'll take you down
I
to the
don't think
range.
this is where you want to be.
Yeah.
You don't
We're not
seem
trying
to
to
like
convince
people like
anybody.
us. I don't know why
At
you're
all.
We're not gonna waste our time trying to convince you.
Right. We
yeah,
don't
we're
care.
not gonna try to convince you of anything. If you want to just come and chat, we're just here gabbing. I'm here promoting again standwithsophie.com for anybody who wants a safe space where we can build a private community to talk about safety. Polly's gonna teach us about hunting.
Well, remember, I'm out here. I'm in the U.S. So, and I'm very good hitting moving targets.
Nice. And that's the thing. That's part of my guide. We've got to get pew pews, y'all. Get the pew pews. Get all the pew pews. Get all. I love pew pews. I had my concealed weapons permit. I am a big fan. And honestly, it's so funny to me that I bet the more we start getting them, isn't that when they first actually started making some real was it Reagan when the
pew laws?
Yeah, they actually started tightening the shit up. Not when their children got unalived in Sandy Hook.
Right.
Not with Columbine. No, but when the Black Panthers wanted to give people free school lunch. That's when they started to tighten up on the pew pews. But yeah, get the pew pews.
Yeah.
Get the pew pews. I'm sorry. Hey,
Flo.
Hello. I don't know why I'm out at 10 o'clock, but I am.
I don't know what I'm doing awake either. It's past grandma's bedtime.
We didn't do Zumba tonight, so we're still awake.
Exactly.
Zumba's still a thing?
Oh, girl.
I mean, clearly I don't know much about
exercising is still a thing. Yes.
You all need to join us on Mondays and Thursdays.
And Thursdays, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yes.
Is it like a live stream?
It's a live on TikTok.
Yeah. It's a good one. Yes.
Can you send me that information? I would love to.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you guys have to join us because I can't be the only one falling down.
But let me tell you, that's part of this. Well, we were talking about how we're officially in the Fourth Reich, how it's a constitutional crisis. There's no more voting. There's no more America. So what are we going to do about it? And one of those things is we gotta keep ourselves healthy. We gotta save our money. I gotta learn how to run a mile without being winded.
Oh my God.
I'm going to Polly's farm. I can cook and I can plant and grow stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm going somewhere.
Well, I hunt. That's what I do.
Hi, Sam.
I can cook what you hunt.
You can cook. Can you skin
That's
it? I'll
hilarious.
skin it.
Oh my
Funny.
gosh. Oh my god, traffic said Polly
That's a
Murray
terrible
ain't nobody
comment.
gonna miss you. That's
What did it
false.
say? Polly Murray, ain't
That's
nobody
a
gonna
lie.
miss you. I think
I would miss
this
you very
person
much.
thinks. I think
I
this
think he's
person thinks that
projecting.
what they.
Oh,
I think
clearly.
he
Good
thinks what
call,
he has to
Jodi.
say is relevant.
Right.
It's like
It's
whatever.
like
We're
like
still
why is this
unbothered.
still here?
Still
Like it makes no sense
unbothered.
to me.
We're still
They're like,
unbothered.
okay.
No, nobody else will take them. You're again traffic. You're more than welcome. But again, I don't know why you would want to be here.
Why would you come in here?
Yeah, like what is the point?
Hey,
Oh my
He's
god!
just here.
Cal.
Last
He
time I
wants some
had
attention. Hey, Cap. He wants some attention. Poor little Tink
hey
Tink.
Cal.
Nobody
Yeah.
likes him. Nobody wants to play with him.
Right.
He's lonely.
He's in the basement.
He's lonely.
I know. With his mom. Poor guy.
Right.
Yeah.
He's made
Oh
him
my
get a
god!
job.
Thanks, Flo. Thank you so much.
Oh, hey,
I'm
Cap.
sorry, this baby is so loud.
Oh,
We got all the
God.
raspberries this
We
evening.
still want her life.
Exactly.
Thank you.
She's living her
Well, the
best
squirrels
life.
are here.
She is. Y'all, it's 3:00 in the morning.
Girl, get some
It's not
sleep.
slow down.
Yeah, she's living her best
And
life.
that baby is like, I'm not tired, mommy. I'm not tired.
She's the baby that as soon as you lay down, that head pops up like a turtle.
Absolutely,
Yep.
absolutely. Oh my gosh! And I just put on a new shirt because she stretches them all out every single time. For naught, all for naught. Oh my gosh. Chloe, tell us a little bit about yourself. I haven't had the pleasure of meeting you. I'm sorry.
Oh, Flo's amazing. Take it away, Flo.
Nothing to say. Hey, I karaoke on Fridays.
I'm learning about all
First
this
thing that
stuff
came
during
to
your
mind.
Zoom.
No, I'm a mom.
Hey, Marcus.
Haiti.
I'm from Haiti.
She speaks a bunch
Oh,
of different
what?
languages.
I speak French, Spanish, and Creole.
That's amazing.
Cap, who's in the chat, is learning Creole with a group of our friends from TikTok here,
Oh my god.
and myself,
That is so cool.
and Paulie if she comes back.
I'm really impressed with that. Yo, I
I'm trying.
literally just I just did well in March I did a whole thing for YT History Month. and during some of the research I came across how Haiti basically gained their own freedom as an enslaved colony. But how France said, "How dare you?" and demanded reparations to the tune of something like 150 million,
And have been paying for it ever since.
Yeah, and even though y'all gained your freedom, but they wanted compensation for their loss of land property and human property.
Yep.
That is,
And so
like,
for
it
that,
really
they tell
bothers
everyone else not to trade with Haiti.
No,
And so
they do. It's devastating. They said that you finished your payments in the late 70s, I think, but the ramifications are still happening today. And then the United States comes in and makes things even harder, trying to take over and manage your government and stuff.
We're terrible.
Right.
We that's what we have
America is
always
the worst.
done.
I don't get it.
Oh God. I'm so
Yep.
I
embarrassed.
don't have a patriotic bone in my body, yo. But as a Haitian, like, I bet you have a completely different perspective of America and how America is behaving in this moment. Like, what are your thoughts on the current events?
Unfortunately, I grew up here, but I know the history. Of course, my parents had to make sure I know. You have to know the history. You have to know that you were the first nation that claimed your own independence. So yeah, so I know the history, but being here, you know, this is stuff we read.
Really?
We read these things in books. Right, Polly?
Right. It's
So
so
I'm
Yes,
I'm a
hard to
ma'am.
believe it's
reader
real.
of books, and that's how I met Polly on this app.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I love that. I love when Polly reads. I was following Polly before I even knew it was Polly. I feel like I've been a OG with you, man. Like,
So
I don't
you're
know.
not in the US?
No, I live in the UK. Thank God I escaped, but I have so much survivor's guilt. So I'm like, please, please stand with Sophie.com. I'm trying to build a safe space for people because I'm not there. I feel like there's so much more I can say, that I can rail against than if I still live there. Like just the fact that they're disappearing people, off the street for like it's scary. It's scary. So I have a survival guide that's a living document that I've started with like what to do if you're detained, how to hack your phone so you can make sure if you can't reach it or touch it. Because you saw how Rumesa Ozturk, the Turkish lady who has a student visa who got snatched up, how they just grabbed her and grabbed her phone. I have a shortcut that you can download